Are you having a scotch?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
This is a
Usually I'm a
kombucha.
tequila guy, but I don't have a choice. So, welcome everybody. You are on, we don't even know what the name of this show is. It's just me talking to Vlad, co founder of Robinhood. I met Vlad. He was wearing Google glasses, and I'm like, we can't back people that wear Google glasses. Do you remember that era when Google Glass was the thing and you came to pitch us? So, let's refresh people when this company was started, because we've been here, I think it was late 2013, but tell us like the formation.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, it was a little bit ambiguous when exactly it started because we got the idea for Robinhood in 2012.
Right.
It was like February of 2012, and Beju and I, along with a few team members, were actually working on another business. We were working on an enterprise software company that we started in New York, selling high frequency trading software to banks and hedge funds.
Right.
And I had moved out to California to start the West Coast office because we went to Stanford, so we wanted to hire great engineers. And there weren't that many amazing engineers in New York at the time. And of course, I mean, there were some, but they were being paid a lot at high frequency trading firms. So I went to start the engineering office. And at that point, in California, two interesting things were happening. You had the rise of mobile. So you had you had Instagram, which at that point was still in Palo Alto, using the particular benefits and advantages of mobile to grow to tens of millions of users.
With 8 people.
Yeah, an incredible team there. You had Uber, who had launched Black Car in San Francisco. Again, a product that would not be possible if it wasn't for mobile. You're
And
not
Google
gonna.
Maps. And Google
Yeah,
Maps.
yeah, and but so we realized mobile was a thing, and me starting the West Coast office and the team in New York, but with like the DNA of how the financial industry worked, we were able to kind of see both worlds. And then we got the idea of what if we combined the back end of an extremely sophisticated algo trading system that would be able to offer trading for no commissions with an extremely easy to use, simple mobile first UI a la Instagram or Uber. And, can we put these two things together? And, when we got that idea in 2012, it took us some time to execute on it. It was between that point and launching the initial waitlist for Robinhood, not even the product, but the waitlist, it was almost 2 years. But, once we got that idea, it was very clear to us that was a good idea and that we needed to pursue it and execute on it.
And so timing's everything. I don't know if you know the backstory. So when I started StockTwits, like you said, Twitter wasn't even, the iPhone hadn't even started. So Twitter was on BlackBerry and the web. And so when the App Store came out, the first thing I thought of as the founder of StockTwits was wait till the president tweets with the cash tag and you'll be able to trade right from Twitter. So I was shocked that no American company did it. And we'll get into this is because no one wanted to be a broker, right? Like no one wanted to do the hard work of wrapping all this software inside the SEC. And so I'm sure, so when I met you in 2013, I had already invested in eToro and the App Store was like 5 years old and still there was no brokerage. Everybody was doing the robo thing, like assets under management. So did that worry you? Like, because when we came in, we didn't have enough money. We just put in a little bit of money.
Yeah, you invested in the was that the seed round at the 10 million cap?
It was 10 million cap, but what happened was Joe, I think, had designed the front end. Was it Joe?
Well, Joe was our first product engineer, so we
And you
brought him
guys
from
showed me that
Facebook.
product, and it was just,
Yeah.
I knew if you build it, they will come. So you get that money, you were out of money, and so now you cobble together some money, and then let's just talk about, like, you still hadn't got FINRA approval, and you had this vision of the SEC. How hard was that? Like, people don't realize no one wanted to do this idea back then.
It was not as hard as everyone thought. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I still remember our first. So there was this catch-22 situation where we needed to raise capital to get approval, but also not very many venture capitalists wanted to give us capital before we got approval.
Yeah.
They're like, what happens to my money if you guys don't
Correct.
get approved? This is just, it'll be a terrible investment. And they weren't aware, since nobody was building regulated financial startups at that point, they just weren't aware of the mechanics of dealing with this regulator, or what the happy path even was. I think now there's a little bit more clarity onto that. So there was a difficult catch-22 situation. We needed the money to get the license, but also the license made it much easier to get the money. So you probably remember Robinhood in those days was on AngelList.
Yeah.
And actually, we took all comers on AngelList. I would pitch, we had people that we're still in touch with who were, 50, 60-year-old angel investors living in the Midwest who maybe came upon some money. They were on AngelList, and we pitched them just like we pitched the Andreessens and the Google Ventures and the institutional guys. And by the way, we needed the money, so everyone got their full requested allocation at the time. So yeah, we have some angel investors that got into Robinhood at 10 million cap back in 2013 that have done very, very well, and I'm very happy about that.
It's amazing how, and it's only been 12 years, but it just feels like, oh my God, because today I looked it up, it's a $40 billion company. And so I knew right away. So you come out to our LP event, because I was trying to help raise money because we were a small fund, and you come out to our LP event. It still wasn't a thing, because our LPs were like, what? How's it going to make money? Like, it was one of those things where you come up on stage and present to our LPs. I don't think we knew yet that it was going to be a thing. When did you first realize, holy shit, we're on to something?
I think there's different stages of progress. Of course, before we launched the waitlist, we were working on lots of mobile apps. I don't know if you remember Analyst or Robinhood pre-brokerage, which was a StockTwits competitor, a formidable StockTwits competitor, I would say.
If I'd only warned them, not a good idea to compete with something that doesn't have their own plan figured out yet.
So yeah, you could follow stocks, rate them, buy, sell, hold, make predictions. And the idea was that when we launched the brokerage, we would just layer on actual trading onto this social network community. And, as you remember, the community never really took off. We were struggling to get hundreds of daily active users. And I was reading all of the growth manuals, trying all of the growth hacks. And, damn, it was hard. It's hard to make something work. And then when we announced Robinhood commission-free stock trading in December of 2013, I think in one day we had more waitlist signups than sum total signups for the social network that we launched in its entire 12 months of existence. Yeah. So at that point we were like, well, maybe we should just scrap this whole layering trading onto a social network idea and just build the simplest and most intuitive way to trade. It seems like that's what people wanted. And, we had something like 10,000 waitlist signups the first day, 50,000 the first week, and almost 1 million in the first 12 months. So I think there was definitely a dislocation between everything we were doing before launching the waitlist and everything after. It's just immediately clear the charts were going up and to the right without us doing anything. So I think to some degree we had the wind at our backs since the waitlist. But of course, other things happened, right? When we actually launched the product, we delivered a very, very nice product. And so everyone thought that, you have all these great waitlist signups, but the conversion rate to actual funded brokerage accounts is going to be very, very low. That's going to be 1%, 2%. Well, it ended up being, 10 times that. And that surprised people. That led us to raise a nice Series B because, everyone's like, wow, we underwrote to maybe a few thousand, tens of thousands of brokerage accounts from this wait list, but, there's a path to hundreds of thousands now. Now this is a real company. And then, of course, crypto trading was big for us. We were late relative to the initial crypto exchanges, but very early when you compare us to TradFi businesses, which is kind of how we started. options trading was big, and now prediction markets and banking and credit. It's fun. We have so many products that I'm excited about, and each new product is an opportunity to kind of figure things out and learn more, which is why I get so excited about it.
I mean, I'm more excited for the product today, even though we don't talk about, like I haven't talked to you in a while, than I ever have been. So how does that, like, what is the difference between, 2013, it was hard, but then it was easy money for a while. Then it got, interest rates went up, and you had the GameStop stuff, and you had the market going down, and now you have, it just feels like the product's doing better than it's ever done. Like the core of the product is there. Like I've always used it, but now I'm using it more than ever. What do you think is different about this world and the economy than when you started, and just the whole do-it-yourself investing moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a few things that were different. I think the biggest difference is just when we started, the company was 20 people, and it was a ragtag group of folks that were punching above our weight class. Beju was leading design. He was never a designer. I was leading engineering. I was never an engineer. We both learned how to do it from YouTube videos. Of course, we're mathematicians, so we had the confidence that we could learn anything we wanted, because nothing's going to be harder than graduate level pure math. But we had to learn a lot of things, and we didn't get all of them right. And I think over time, we got more resources. Robinhood became well known. We've been able to hire amazing people. We've got between 2,000 and 3,000 employees now. We can do more things, and I think we've built a better foundation through trial and error and through kind of interacting with the market, and we've learned stuff. And I think we've also managed to internalize a lot of those learnings as an organization, figure out how to do everything better, from launching products to talking to customers. So I think that it's just been steady compounding improvement, like investing, right?
Yeah.
It's never, your portfolio does a lot for you after you've had it for decades, but maybe not so much when you just get started.
And so today, the role of the CEO for you, it was co-CEOs for almost ever. And what's the favorite part of the CEO role for you? Because you have capital, and now you have scale, and you have customers. And so what's the most interesting part of the CEO role for you today? Is it product? Is it strategy? Is it business?
Yeah, I think the best part for me has pretty much always been working on new products. I think if I had a weakness, it's probably I enjoy moving on to new things, and the new product that doesn't exist probably gives me more energy to think about than improving products that we already have that in some cases are generating a lot of revenue. So we have great people too that get very excited about that, but sort of my excitement is it's kind of figuring things out, right? It's I don't understand anything about this product, this market, how people use it, and understanding that and figuring that out in the form of launching a new product is very interesting to me. And I've had the opportunity to do that just in the past year across multiple surfaces and things. Prediction markets is one very interesting product.
So
and that
exciting.
one, we're kind of early to, in a sense. I'm used to coming in and disrupting incumbents that have been doing it for 20 to 30 years. So in this case, there really aren't incumbents. We're sort of among the first. And I think that's new, just the product itself, but also that there's not examples of others that are doing the same thing that we're doing, but just much less efficiently. Credit is exciting. Banking is exciting. Those are new things. Desktop trading with Robinhood Legend that we launched. We were so focused on mobile that we never really stepped back and asked ourselves, what could we do with all this screen real estate? So we really had to break it down into first principles and figure that out too. So
I think you'll be surprised how big desktop is, because I used to bitch and ask for this because I said Robinhood did such a good job of shrinking the world to one screen, and
yeah,
wait till the screen is not big enough for people that get into it, right? Where they want to lean back and enjoy the market, which is just math and sentiment and behavior all wrapped up in price. And so I knew you'd be surprised by how is it going? Because the desktop is beautiful, but how's it going?
it's going really well. I mean, I think that first of all, the thing that I look at most is product velocity. The Robinhood Legend team has been shipping very, very like insane shipping velocity on that. There's new indicators, new features coming on a weekly basis, pretty much. And we announced some numbers on it in the last earnings call that it was already, it very, very quickly after launch got into the tens of millions of annual revenue.
Let's now talk about the mood, right? Like, you've now been through the good and the bad. So now you have, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So let's talk about how vicious you there through the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
What did it feel like at the lows? Forgetting the money and forgetting the government and forgetting the worries of like the people, the community. How do you survive the community? What's that like when you're tapped into the world like StockTwits and you're hearing the vitriol of Twitter and you have to go make decisions what do I talk about? What was that like?
Yeah, I think that actually wasn't the hardest part of it for me, because even though we had the GameStop problem, it was very acute. It was like 2 days, and it was 1 foot in front of the other, just raising however much, 3 to 4 billion for the business, and doing all of the press interviews, which I did admittedly very poorly, but I did them. And it was very much like 1 foot in front of the other. I think the hardest part of that whole thing for me was actually that it was kind of late stage COVID, and not late stage COVID for me personally, but
The country. World.
So everyone was just on screens all the time. And I was kind of like managing this crisis on Zoom. Everyone was just like in their living rooms doing this thing. And, the Redditors were launching this revolution from their basements. But I'm very much a person that gets energy by being around other people in person, particularly when there's some crisis to be solved. And I think at that point, it had just taken a toll. I mean, it had been almost a year. And I think for me personally, but also I think a lot of people around the country, it was just making me a little crazy, right?
I can't imagine, because I'm living it from the other side going, well, they're not going to talk to me, and I'm not on the board. But StockTwits was taking it out on you, which you don't care about. Well, you might listen, but they were taking it on me because I knew I was involved in it. So I could only derivatively imagine what it was like, because I was taking the abuse for the company on the stream, trying to say, guys, like, this has happened in markets forever.
Yeah.
And my interpretation of it was, if you give everybody a perfect UI, right? It was like a perfect storm. If you give everybody a perfect UI and everybody clicks the same, but it's like if you were playing pinball as a kid and everybody clicks the same button at the same time, tilt, like the game breaks. And it felt like that was really what happened. Like, you can lay 1,000 explanations on it, but from a UI perspective and from the GME and from the short selling, and it's just like everything was a crescendo of one moment, and it broke everybody's system. So it was like I couldn't imagine the pain and the stress at that moment. But in hindsight, it makes the company stronger, because the product wasn't the problem. The problem was the machine went tilt, and the country was on tilt from COVID. So it was a miracle in a way that you got through it. What is it now like being, you're the hashtag legend, first winner of the hashtag legend, and what we've always wanted to do at StockTwits. It really should be, because I didn't pick it. Meaning, I love Robin and Vlad and Baju and Nate and all the people that made Joe and all the people that made this happen, and our community for being the first 100,000 people that were like APIing it. But like, now I look at it going, Jesus, I wish I had some better perspective, right? Because for me, it's only 12 years, right? And I
Yeah.
still own the stock, and I know Mickey at Ribbon, and I know all the people that were like involved early. And now I look back, and I think you said it before, it's like you don't have anybody to disrupt. Like the stuff you do with the stuff in prediction market is opportunity. It's nothing to disrupt. It's just like, what opportunity do you pick? From
Yeah.
futures betting to crypto to 24-hour 7 trading. So it's really, I can't imagine, by the way, this is a plug for people who want to go work at a great company. I can't imagine a better time to be working in the financial business. I call it the degenerate economy. People laugh or cringe, but I just mean there's so much, there's less about the incumbent and more about like what else is next. So is there too much on the plate? Is there something that we don't see yet? Or is crypto and prediction markets enough?
No, there's more there. I actually do think there's a lot more to be disrupted. I mean, we're launching banking. That's a big industry.
Yeah, I'm
We're
excited
getting
about
into,
that.
yeah. And I think, yeah, the team there is really cranking. I mean, I don't know if you saw the cash delivery, but
My
yeah, I think,
son's using it, and I don't know where he's getting the cash, but he's calling it all the time.
well, you might want to look into that. But yeah, Robinhood Banking, I'm excited about. I think there's a lot of innovative features, and the way we're kind of positioning the product is very unique because most digital banks target paycheck to paycheck customers, lower income, and I think part of the reason is that like premium customers, high net worth, need things from their banks that are hard to provide digitally. You know,
Yep.
the higher level of service. Estate planning. They need they need really just features that you have to go to a branch to do. So nobody has really executed on the promise of digital banking as being strictly better than what you have in brick and mortar. And I think we have an opportunity to do that. That gets me excited. Advisory, we're attacking it from
Super
two
bullish.
angles.
I'm
So
super
we've got
bullish.
Robinhood Strategies, which we're excited about, which introduced the cap fee model. Most advisory services get more expensive for you as the money increases. We wanted to build something where the more money you have with Robinhood, the better it gets for you, and the more you enjoy using the product, the better deal you get. So Robinhood Strategies does that from the digital advice robo side. We also acquired a company, Trade PMR, that has a marketplace of advisors, and we're going to be launching that in the product where you can actually select an advisor as a Robinhood customer. They can help you and give you a higher touch service. I think that's going to be really, really good. So there's a lot of disrupting to do. I think we're doing a good amount. We could always be doing more. Probably some could think we're doing too much, but
Well, I
I don't
think at
know.
the beginning there was a period where I was like, not enough, and now I'm saying I'm so excited. Two more questions. There's because I haven't seen you in a while. There's a version of Vlad that people think they know, and then there's the person that pitched me with Vlad years ago. What's something you wish that people understood about you or the mission? Just
Well,
say it out.
I think that perception does lag the reality of Robinhood a bit. And I don't just mean, people bringing up GameStop and things from 4 years ago, but I think a lot of people still think that Robinhood is only useful as a trading app for beginners.
Yeah.
If you're a beginner, you want to buy your best stock, your first stock, Robinhood is good for that and nothing else. But I think Robinhood has the best retirement account. Now we have an advisory offering. I think we have the best credit card. You can earn the market leading rate of interest in your cash. And we have I think the best subscription product, all financial services with Robinhood Gold, where really it's compelling for you as a retail investor to put all of your wealth in Robinhood and have us serve that. So I think most people don't quite think of it that way yet. I think these things take a little bit of time, but I think if I had a magic wand and I could communicate all of the great products and all the ways that Robinhood can serve your entire plethora of financial needs, I would probably wave that wand, and it would greatly accelerate the asset growth and just the general growth of the business.
Okay, last one. Excellent. Legend Award time. If you could, to me, the cash, because I named this award, I didn't pick the winner, but I helped. It was between you. I only wanted to come down to two people, and the team that was involved was large, and you were there. Brian Armstrong was there. Michael's good company. Michael Saylor was there. I was there, but that I'm opted out because I was I'm that smart. So
you would have just won. Yeah, that would have
been unfair. It would have been unfair. Although my son would have voted for you, but it was between you and the team came up. The team came up with you against Brian, and we put it out there to the FinTwit and Reddit and Stocktwits, and it wasn't that close. And in a crypto world, I would thought, again, I can't predict what our community does, but it's really cool to see 1 million people kind of crowd around things. Because, you run the vote in 2021, you come in, I beat you. And in 2025, you beat Brian. 2024, you beat Brian Armstrong, right? And two incredible founders, and obviously Baiju in there. And and to me, the legend means you've seen both sides. You innovated, you disrupted, you're dealing with the future. You've been in the you've seen how.
And I'm old now.
You're not old, but you've seen
like the AFI
how,
Lifetime Achievement Award. They give it to Sean Connery up there.
We're not doing Lifetime Achievement. I'll be dead, but before Stocktwits does a lifetime. But the hashtag legend means you've done all that, but then you've also had your what you went through, or what the company went through, and your customers went through with COVID and the GameStop nightmare, and raising money through that hell, and now the future in AI. And so that's the legend, right? Like, you've been through it all. And so if you could hand the hashtag a legend award to someone else in your mind, because you look up to a lot of people, and I know you're into math and science, but if you could hand the hashtag legend award to someone else, who's someone that you, and let's not say Baiju, because he is a co-founder, and he'd be on this list with you if he started his own next company. Who's someone you admire that deserves it or who might deserve it next?
Ooh, and it's a Fintech founder.
I think it's Fintech. Fintech, crypto, predictions, just degeneracy.
Yeah. I mean, I think Brian Armstrong put up a good fight for this battle. I know he likes to say that we're not competitors, but I have on good faith, I know that he probably would have really wanted to win this award, and he fought valiantly. But yeah, I think he's done a great job. Great founder, obviously is pushing ahead and has done a lot for the crypto industry. And I think he would be a deserving award winner if I wasn't here, of course.
Okay, graceful. I love it. Give it up to the person that you ran against. And I'm really excited about the business. Congratulations on winning the Legend Award and getting through the gauntlet of 12 years. And we hope to see you guys in person. You're sending some people to the awards. And we'll hopefully get to chat with you as you launch new products. And thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah, thank you. And say hi to Ben and Emil for me.